Just refreshing the stream to double check. Yep. All right. We are live. Whoops. I'm already sharing my screen. All right. What's going on, everybody? We are here with JYNX of Cardano Casino and with iCleanup, as always, chilling in the family room at the moment. So we're going to carry for a little bit while we wait for his kids to go to bed. But how's it going, JYNX? How you doing today?
Doing good. My name is Arash. I go in the space by JYNX. As far as being in the space, I've been here since end of 2020. And as far as coming up with the idea, it was actually because of my friend. He likes gambling a lot. And I was, I guess, tired of a little bit watching him lose at the casinos. So I was trying to think of a fair system, something that's more transparent. And basically, that's how we came up with Cardano Casino. So.
Nice. So instead of losing to the casino, you just became the casino.
Well, maybe not lose as much, at least,
Right.
And at least like spread the love.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome, man. So tell us a little bit about your project. What's the aim of the project?
Yeah, so we came up with Cardano Casino at the end of October of 2021. But to be honest with you, at that time, there wasn't too much utility in the market yet, at least not in Cardano. So I had to look at some Solana projects and basically just gather a bunch of information. And we came up with Cardano Casino. The goal here is for us to build a platform that you can basically like do betting. You can do basically like bidding also on NFTs. And end goal is for you to basically be in a metaverse and be able to play casino games, poker games, roulette, blackjack, anything that's related to casino games.
So you say bidding, do you mean like betting on Cardano NFTs?
Yeah, so because at the moment, like when you're launching the project, you're going to have some sort of royalties that come back to you as a holder. But because we are in the United States and we are trying to go for long term, you would have to like basically alter that route and basically like distribute it through our tokens. So when you do receive these tokens, you would be able to utilize them on. So basically, like we have royalties that are supposed to go to holders at the moment. There's also like a portion of the money that comes in that goes towards these giveaways and us investing in other projects potentially, like investing in NFTs and giveaways and such. So then you would be able to do bidding on these NFTs. So we would purchase it and then we would put it up as an auction. And obviously, if you want to, you can use your tokens and do some sort of bidding and win.
Okay. No, that's pretty cool. 'Cause I was thinking at first like betting on NFTs, similar to like the market, like buying an option, like, oh, I think this NFT is going to go up, so I'll bet on this.
Yeah, I actually do know of another project that just came up. I think they're called Sports Alpha Group, and that's something they're trying to do. At least for us at the moment, we do see some issues with it because, for example, like let's say you have a piece that's worth, 1,500 ADA, and they're gonna take it in as like basically like you would put in as a floor price. So let's say the floor price is 1,000, so you're already risking 500. And in a sense, you're forced to put the whole 1,000 in, right? Because let's say even if you want to bet, 50 ADA, 100 ADA, there's no option for you to get the remaining back. In a sense, like you're forced to bet the whole thing. So until we figure out like a better system, we're not going to do anything like that yet, but potentially in the future.
Gotcha. So how will everybody get the tokens? Will they have to own an NFT and get it airdropped or staked?
So we're gonna have the season 1 of Chippies, and obviously, if you see enough demand, we're gonna release the season 2 because originally this collection was supposed to be 10K, but obviously due to the market condition, we have had to reduce the collection size. But ideally, the whole point is for you to stake these Chippies and earn the tokens. We also have our slot machine parts that'll be coming up. You can basically like mint those through holding these Chippies. They're going to be in 3D. You can assemble them and then basically later on place them in the metaverse so you can earn passive income through them. So that would be the main reason as to why you want to hold on to these Chippies. Another benefit would be that later on, obviously, when we acquire our metaverse land, we are going to drop the characters, like the Vox characters for them that are compatible. So another way that you can basically like get, and they're going to be free. So you would only earn them obviously through, having these chippies. It's going to be a one-on-one. So every chippy that you hold will land you a, Vox character.
Gotcha. So here's some of your these chippies, right? The Elvis Chipley.
Yeah, so that one is going to be a one-on-one. Again, the collection was supposed to be 10,000, so we had 10 one-on-ones planned. At the moment, we're most likely going to release only 5 of them. These guys will receive passive income. Well, actually, it's like from our rebate system at the moment. So from the royalties, they will receive 5%. So since there's going to be only 5 of them at the moment, they're going to basically receive 1% each from our royalties.
Okay. So what's the total account now? You said there was, so you halved it to
So there
5,000?
was 10,000, now it's down to 5,000. And again, if you
Okay.
do see there's enough demand, we'll release the season 2 because they are ready. They were already being worked on. But if the community prefers that we keep it as is, then that's what we'll do.
Gotcha. And so like in the typical casino, you know, there's like blackjack, there's poker, there's roulette. Will there be all of those similar games tied into this as well?
Exactly. But the idea for us is to actually be able to, because, as you know, right now, you just go on a website and just do poker now. The idea for us to make it available in the metaverse. So that's why we are actually building partnerships. One just got announced today with Carter Stacks. Some other ones we are actually working on are getting our licenses. So after we do that, like we get our gaming license, we get our gambling license, they're willing to work with us, some of the very big projects. But obviously, they want to make sure they're safe too. So that's what we are working on. And after that, it would be just purchasing the metaverse land and start building on it. Also, these chippies, some of them are going to have roles that are going to be important later on in the metaverse, because we're going to, in a sense, like allow you to build your own businesses around our casino and such, and be able to operate without you having to purchase metaverse land or whatever the case may be. As long as you hold on to these chippies, which there's going to be obviously a certain requirement of how many you hold, you would have access. It's almost like you're renting that land from us, and you can run your business until basically that agreement, in a sense, is over, which obviously you would break it by not holding the required chippies.
Gotcha. And are you guys launching anytime soon? I think when we spoke, you were delaying the launch a little bit.
Yeah, so we were supposed to launch mid-July, but we have seen, obviously, due to market conditions and a couple other projects with similar ideas, and again, a couple of good projects also minting during that time, we thought it's best that we push it to August. It seems like, at least at the moment, mid-August, there's not a whole lot going on, and it gives us some time to also test the collection, because it's going to be done within the next 5 days. So we're just going to test it, do some basically like run the whole collection, make sure there's no issues, anything like that, and basically like just focus on marketing for the next month, and go from there.
Gotcha. Do you have a price set in mind, or are you kind of going to wait to see what it's like?
Yeah, so the price has been set from the beginning. Even when the market conditions changed, we did not change it, because I think even after reducing the collection, it's still going to be enough for us to basically like apply and deliver what we need to. The price is going to be 50 for whitelist and OG, and it's going to be 60 for public. So not too expensive, thinking about what you will receive long term.
Yeah, that's not bad. So is there a model that's going to net you guys some income, either passively, so that you can continue to operate? Or will that come from royalties mostly, or anything other than royalties?
So there is a percentage of the royalty. So as far as the 100%, it's actually, I can read it for you, because we didn't want to add it yet, but we just added it today to the white paper, and we'll announce it. But basically, I can go over the breakdown for you. But basically, 25% of it is going to go to the team. 25% is going to go towards future, developments, and basically like the maintenance costs for these metaverses that we have to operate in and pay them. And the rest is going to be used towards giveaways and tournaments that you're going to hold until that platform is built. So, you're not just sitting there wondering. You can still, there's ways for you to game. And the rest will be split among top holders, meaning whales. You have to hold certain amounts. Again, those one-on-ones. And lastly, it would be for the roles. So if you're actually holding certain roles, they're going to be randomly chosen every month. And so we are actually potentially we're going to be working with Chainlink, so they're going to be helping us out a lot for some of our prizes, raffles and things of that nature. So
Awesome. And I know you said you partnered with Cartastack, so are you going to have like a floor to yourself?
Yeah, so we actually secured an entire floor. It could potentially end up being 2 floors depending on how big this project gets, but we have already talked about it and it's already secured. We already hired an interior designer that'll be working with our artists. So they're going to get started on, you know, building some cool stuff there. And obviously, as other metaverse projects come around, we'll start building stuff there too and showcase it to the people.
Okay. So what sort of I don't know if you know this about me, but I have bad luck. Like that's all I have. So betting for me and like playing poker and other things like that is not something that I do. What's one way you could entice me to like pick up a chippy?
So, like I said, this is not, we try to make it not just only for people that like to gamble or whatever the case may be. Again, there are basically like ways for you to, do bidding on NFTs. There's still ways for you to, win rewards. And even if you're just somebody who wants to hodl at the moment, these tokens that you're earning, they're going to be very valuable later on because, again, as they get used to bid on these NFTs, obviously they come to us and we're going to be holding on to them. And if we feel like there's like just too much out there, we're going to be burning some. So you're going to obviously see supply decrease, and obviously the demand will go up for people wanting to, participate in these games, because basically all the casino games, anything that you want to participate with is going to be through these tokens. So you would just exchange back and forth, whether it's between ADA. Again, hopefully later on we can integrate other cryptocurrencies in, but at the moment, at least it's just ADA. But that's another way for you to make money, in a sense.
So when you bid on these NFTs, will you be bidding in ADA or you'll be bidding with
using our tokens?
Okay.
So you'll be bidding using our tokens, but also another thing that, like I said, is like the capability for you to, even if you're not interested in the gambling part, let's say, you're a chef or you're interested in sports. Again, this collection has roles, and by you collecting those roles, you're going to be able to build in our metaverse for free. So you want to set up a sports shop, you want to, set up a restaurant nearby, whatever the case may be, just by holding our collection, you can still do that. And as long as you stay true to us and basically like hold those chippies, that business is yours. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. How big of a team do you have to get all of this done, by the way?
So at the moment, there's 6 of us. Honestly, I had to spend a lot of time and money on the legality of things. So we do need some money to be able to build the platform and get it up and running. So that would come through us securing the funds from the project. But basically, as soon as that's secured, we're in talks with, it's basically a team of 2 to 6, because I'm in talks with 3 different teams. Ideally, I really want to, for example, for the staking, everything that's possible, I want to use other CNFT projects, so in a way we can give back to the community. So I'm trying to basically find ways for us to stay here and not have to outsource this. But I live in California, so I do have some connections. So we were talking to a team in San Francisco. It's a team of 6, and they will be basically doing that whole platform for us. And we have already been in talks, and we know how much it's going to exactly cost us to deliver that. And they basically have worked on building the platform called the One Of. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I believe, one second, just so I can make sure, but I believe they're on Solana. I'm not super sure. But they also help build that platform, which is really neat. So, but yeah.
So, can you go over a little bit of the legality of it all? Maybe people don't know too much about it.
Yeah, honestly,
what kind of process is that?
So basically, on our website, the website is not very optimized yet, but we wanted to get something up and running for the time being. But it's being worked on at the moment and optimized. So probably within the next 1 or 2 weeks, you'll be able to use the mobile version and everything. But at least there's a website up there. And there is, we have our terms and conditions, and you can look at 2 things. So you're going to have terms and conditions for your NFTs. And then obviously there's going to be the platform that's going to be coming up that you're interacting with. What we are expecting is that when you start using that platform, at least for certain functionalities, you will have to again, not at the moment, but later on in the future, you will have to do KYC. And that's just how things are. And I'm sure, as you guys know, there's some sort of regulation coming. You just have to be careful if you want to last long term. So basically, if you read these terms, everything has been written in a way that you still keep the rights to your NFT, but you're not owning anything as far as like the Cardano casino portion if it becomes a business. But obviously, in a sense, you are a stakeholder through these tokens, But if you're really interested to read in details on our website, there's two sections. One says terms of conditions or, for the NFT, terms of use for the NFT on our website. And then there's one for the platform when it comes up.
Let me just go show everybody where that is. So go over to their website and then we'll scroll down. And is that TNC?
Yeah, and it'll take you to the bottom of the page. You'll see two things again in terms of license for the NFT, and then there's the overall terms and conditions for you using the website, again, platform, and the overall.
Gotcha.
Interacting with the overall platform.
Let's see, and you got Disco Solaris, Havoc World, Juke Boys, Lazy Llamas, and Ada Ninjas.
Yeah, not all of them are up yet. We have the Block Investment Group, we have Carter Stacks, we have Nifty World. There's actually a lot more. We just basically just have to add them to the website.
Yeah, I know my logos for my CNFTs. I've been in the space for a little bit. I know what these are, baby. Yeah. We actually try to approach some OG projects. I mean, again, some of it is a matter of us minting and proving that we are here to stay, so we can, go after some other bigger projects too. But just the fact that we were able to earn the trust of some of these projects, such as Disco Solaris, Lazy Llamas is big.
Yeah, I got to ask you too, because I started this off all wrong. I didn't do all the small talk, before we jumped right in. I got nervous. I jumped right in. So I got to ask you, what do you buy NFTs? Do you have a favorite project? Anything that sparked your interest and excited you? Maybe gave you?
Yeah. So honestly, I got into Cardano and there were no smart contracts available yet. So I did buy some of the very first NFTs, which actually some I have to look in some of the old wallets because I remember it was like this bird looking like PFP. I don't remember, but they were based off of these rarities where there would be like 25 of each, 50 of each, 100 of each. And then obviously it progressed and, things like Clay Nation and such came around at that time. What I did invest into, I think, was Baby Alien Club. So that's what I was buying back then. And I did go out of basically like the whole scene for about 5-6 months. I was busy with IRL stuff. And then when I came back, Boss Cat Rocket Club and all that was really hot. So I did buy, some cats. I ended up minting, basically like getting the land and got lucky, got some D5s. So, it was good. And yes, I'm still heavily invested. I'm probably more than 30,000 shares invested into like NFTs, CNFTs alone. So yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. Have you, because this has been a really rough last, I'd say month to 2 months. Have you been minting anything, buying anything? Maybe you've been cooling off?
I've been minting a little bit from the projects that we support, such as like the Vox Society. I mean, they're going to be helping us, delivering our Vox collection. They do own like pretty sweet lands nearby Manny Pacquiao. So like, we're trying to build a relationship there and we already have a relationship there. So obviously, I minted some there, just basically like minting from projects that, we support, at least one or two. But I mean, based on the market conditions, I can understand, like most people are just on the sidelines, just watching the market, trying to see what happens. And obviously, when you're into NFTs, it's like you're risking on top of a risk because being into crypto is already a risk. And now you're putting that into NFTs. And honestly, I just think what I'm really hoping for is that the mindset changes in a sense, and we see this more as an investment for a long term, and like these NFT projects as at least the ones that have utility as like companies, hopefully, and not just a quick flip. I think that would also help too.
Yeah, I think there was some news that GameStop just opened up their platform for NFTs. I don't know if it's launched yet, but I believe they've opened it or started like a website for it or something like that. I just saw the article.
Yeah, there's just going to be limitations on what projects can go on it because, like, for example, we were monitoring FTX US when they launched their marketplace. There was a lot of Solana projects that ran into issues, like such as the ones that are distributing like royalties from basically like their collection, and they can't because they are in US. They no longer can list it and have it on that marketplace. So that's something that we had to look into, and that's why we have all these legality things figured out, so when that time comes we don't run into those sort of issues. But I'm sure the time will come for Cardano too, you know.
Whoever would have thought GameStop and the NFTs and like, you know, their stock went, you know, it tanked, and then all of a sudden like it came up because of Wall Street bets and stuff like that, and now they're getting in the NFT game. It's kind of like, well, what's next? What is GameStop? It's not what it
honestly, I totally forgot, but there was another cryptocurrency that they were working with. I forgot the name, and it was like jumping up and down at the time like crazy because it was the rumor that, you know, GameStop is partnering with them to enter the NFT world. So yeah, it's crazy.
Have you bought anything recently? I know I don't think I've bought anything in about a month and a half. I broke the streak today, but are you buying anything?
So as far as like buying shares or
no, like I haven't bought any crypto stocks or NFTs up until today. I broke the streak today, but I'll break the ice on what that is after cleanup answers. What you been buying, bro?
So for me, I got a couple buds, space buds. The floor kind of dipped to like 35 or something close to that, or 33. And I was like, you and I were talking, and I thought, oh no, there's no way. Literally the next day, that's when the FUD hit. And I was like, you might be able to get a bud. Like, so, you know, I got a couple, and then that's pretty much it. I got real anxious because I was like, man, this is too much ADA. You know, what if it drops to nothing? What if it drops to, you know, what if it drops further than where it was, and then it picked back up, and then kind of now, it was a
risky,
it was a scary moment. Yeah, but it was a risk. You know?
I'd say with that whole, because that's the argument, right? Like, what if my investment goes to nothing? That's always the argument. But it's like, well, we're investing. Like, all we can do is take our educated guesses and hope for the best, right? Like, we take our stats, we take our data, and we use that, and we say that this is, you know, this data means this is a good project or this is a good stock, so I'm going to buy it. And you just kind of let it ride, and whatever happens, happens. Sometimes you get the bad news where, you know, CEO did something illegal, boom, stock crashes, you lost all your money. Sometimes you get the news that, oh, no big deal, we're going to have a little fix, and everything keeps moving on upwards. So we'll have to see exactly which one SpaceBuds falls into. But I think there was an announcement that said that they were, or not an announcement, it looks like they're opening up another policy, but this is maybe just a rumor.
So from what I said, they're redoing the. I mean, they're gonna like redo, not necessarily fully redo the collection, I think, but they are gonna redo some of the artwork and stuff. So it seems like there's a whole new collection coming.
So it's a token. So you're gonna burn your one NFT. It's gonna be replaced by the other, and they're basically just gonna redo the art for it, and so it's still gonna have the same mint date and everything like that, same historical stuff. But yeah, they're just migrating it to a different art, I guess you would say.
Yeah, so, I really wonder what if any, long-term, you know, consequences are going to come of this, because I know people take morality and their own kind of ideology into this kind of, you know, trading and these sorts of investments. So I really do wonder if people are just going to be like, no, I don't care. Like, just because they made up for it, like, what if they never got caught? You know, like, what if this? And I don't really know what my stance is on it. I don't own one. I've been saving up for one, and then this news comes out, and I'm like, well, it hit my price, but I don't know what to do now because this is like some crazy news. So I don't know. I'm in this middle land.
I mean, there's a couple different camps, right? And so one camp is like burn them at the stake, it's dead, but they've secretly kind of wanted SpaceBuds to fall anyway. You know what I mean? And then there's another part of the camp that supports, ales and stuff. And so Alessandro. And so, yeah, it's really weird to see for me, just because, like, okay, well, I support him, I support Space Buds, and it does suck the fact that it's kind of in limbo, when it's like, well, you're throwing like 4K ADA at something, or like whatever. It's nothing to really like sneeze at for most people. That's a lot more than what most have in the space. And so when something like this happens, it's like, well, so you can place a little bit of the blame on the team, right? Because they didn't double check. But I mean, how many people are going to go on Pinterest, I'm sorry, and just check on everything, right?
Exactly.
Not a whole lot. You take people at face value and stuff. And so this came out of the woodwork. Like, somebody had to have been searching for this, because they were clear for like a year, or two. And then I guess somebody randomly started looking into it, like, yeah, right, give me a break. Something happened. I don't know what it was, but yeah, there's tons of original art in the space, but there are a lot of projects that have kind of bit the style of somebody or something, or all borrowed from the halo trait, or the black eye trait, or the tongue sticking out, or the goofy teeth and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
just don't think, because it's like Alessandro. He has this legacy about him, and I don't think this will destroy him, or the project. I think it'll move on forward. But this will always be in the back of everybody's mind. So if there is another mistake, I think it could be compacted, and so they're really going to have to double check, be extra cautious in the future. But I think everything can continue as normal, as everything's fine, because it's not like they did this on purpose. This is down to the artist, that sort of thing. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But again, it's not up to me. It's up to the community. So we're going to have to see.
I honestly just think it's good that they acknowledged it and they're doing something about it. Now, the only part that I'm not sure is like changing the original art, because I think although you could argue that it's a copy, I don't think it was copied in the same space, so that, I don't know. I just feel like you getting sued because of that. I'm just saying, like, I just don't see it happening, unless, if that other artist was in this space too and stuff, it would be more likely. But again, because they're one of the biggest projects and they could go down in the history as, the first collection, later on down the road, it could become a problem if you're, that big, and all of a sudden in real world, your art is obviously like copied and stuff like that, then it could become an issue. But I just hope everybody can move on.
Not only that, but not to harp on it too much, but if Space Buds are supposed to give you the IP rights to these things, which it's stated in their paper, right?
Yeah, that's the one thing.
How can they do that?
That's what I'm saying. That was the only one thing that I was worried about, and I think that's the only thing as to why they're changing the artwork, because I think otherwise they could have just gotten away with it.
I think so. So if you get an Arcane, right, like that's 100% Space Buds. So if you just get out Arcane, you should be good. My thing, how many people are going to trade in their original for the new version? It's kind of...
It's going to get very tricky.
It's going to get real tricky, man, because
you're going to be like, am I losing value right now, or is this a good thing? So.
Right.
Yeah, Arrow Art too. He says, "What's your thoughts on Purdy Cats, which is the artist that did the Space Buds work?" And that was actually what I thought. I went and, I actually don't know if I checked it, but I had that thought.
I am pretty sure that were affected, and I'm pretty sure there was some stuff that were copied that were also found in their collection. But at least from what I heard on Spaces that I was the other day, one of the devs was in there, and he mentioned that they're just moving on as is, and they're not facing any legal issues. So
yeah, there it is.
So he said they're not facing any sort of legal issues or anything like that, and they're just moving on as is. And they seemed like they were a little more on Israel's side, so they were supportive of him. So it seems like they're moving on.
I went ahead and tossed mine.
Your Purdy Cat
marketplace. I was like, man,
Did you get a Purdy Cat?
Oh yeah, I meant it.
Okay.
I heard, you know, Space Bud's artist, you know,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, this is the killer, you know, and so I got a really rare one. And
Have they not all sold out?
no,
Okay.
well, because the mint got really high up, it was staggered like Buds wasn't always 50 ADA. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it you know, back when CNFTs were starting, right? It used to be, it would go up tiers, right? So you would start mint at like 25 or 50, and then, you know, that's the first 1,000. Then 1,000 to 2,000 is going to be, you know, 45 ADA or 60 ADA or something. You know what I mean? And so they
Yeah.
stagger it to where
Yeah, I heard that Ethereum does that too, or more so on Ethereum. They do kind of like tiered mints, where
Yeah.
you know it'd be like $500 to 700, 900, whatever, and it kind of is nice because it's like whoever really wants one can kind of guarantee themselves one, but they're going to spend probably a lot of money, you know.
Well,
But
they also
Yeah.
do, was it Dutch auctions where it starts off at like 1 ETH, right? And then as the more that gets minted, the less the price is.
okay,
Is that weird?
it is kind of weird, but it makes it works in the same way, right? It just does all the people who want to get in first. But I don't know. On Cardano with such little people, I just think it would be just like a failed mint, you know? Like people would just like wait. You know, nobody would do anything. You know what I mean? We don't have like a whole lot of people unless it was like Cornucopias or Clay or Space Buds, you know, but if it was just like some brand new project, I think people would probably just be like, "Oh, wait."
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem right now. I just don't think there's enough people in the CNFD space, at least anymore, because I feel like there's just too many projects coming out, and you still have the same people basically like having to move their money around from here to there. So that's just really what's happening. So that's why it's tough, especially for new projects, because everybody's just kind of sitting on their holdings, whatever they have, and they're just not wanting to invest anymore. And you don't really have new people coming in, so that excitement is just not there at the moment.
Yeah, I saw Virtua had some plots selling for like 30K or 50K even. Have you guys heard of Virtua?
Yeah, honestly, I think they're going to be a very successful project. I think they've been in this space for a long time at this point. I think they've been around since like 2018, 2019. So I think if there is a team that can do it and deliver this whole metaverse idea to us correctly, I think it could be them. So, but again, pricey, but very pricey as far as like even minting. But I do think at the end of the day, if you really want like quality, it's going to come at a price. You're basically like paying for the team and the experiences that came behind.
And they started on ETH, right? Is
Yeah,
that correct?
Yeah, and honestly, like I think their token is actually exchanged on Binance. So that's the one thing I was wondering about, because if their token is on Binance, I'm trying to figure out how we could really in the Cardano community benefit from it. And I'm sure they have a plan, but that was the one thing I was wondering about.
Yeah, when I saw the prices for these, I was actually not super aware of this project, and I was like, man, these are steep prices, right? They were way more than Cornucopias, and I was like, I mean, to me, I knew about Cornucopias a whole lot more, so maybe Cornucopias just did better marketing, or I don't know what it was, but
I mean, honestly, I don't think they're doing too bad because their large plots fully sold out. So even though they're gonna have another mint, I think coming in about like 17, 18 hours or so, there's no larges available anymore. So
yeah,
we're gonna be stuck with mediums in these condo like places.
Yeah, the largest or the copious or whatever, those are going for a crazy amount now too.
No, but sorry, I was talking about the Virtua. They have
Right.
like this large one, and yeah.
Right, and for Cornucopias though, their largest one was their copious plot,
Right. Yeah.
and yeah, those are, I think they were 1,100 to mint, and now they're minimum 5x from that. So that's pretty impressive,
Yeah, honestly, it's just as expected. These plots are probably going to be very valuable in the future if they deliver. So, people are banking on them.
And there's only 200 and I think 40 of the copious sizes, so super small in supply. Are there any mints that you guys are excited for coming up this week or the next week?
So I actually did not get to watch the video. Did you? You came out with a video on Sunday, right?
Right. Yep.
I did not get to watch it yet. I've just
It's
been
all
at,
good.
I did watch it, but honestly, it's just that there's not too many projects that I saw that I don't know, just right now, based on the stuff that I hold, it's just that there's nothing else that's like really catching my attention too much, because it seems like for the most part they're similar. So
who's in the chat? Somebody's in the chat.
What the?
NakedHD.xyz. That's hilarious.
I'm gonna put him in timeout. Hopefully he just chills out.
Looks like we found you a girl. Great. Excellent.
Yeah, appreciate you, Naked. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that because in the video I put down in the timestamp all the ones that I covered.
All the ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me. Oh, we do have. Okay. We do have Cyberbots. CyberX. They're minting for 5 ADA.
yeah, honestly, I think that was the only thing. I just think you just have to at 5 ADA. I don't think
Right?
you will lose, but
And Cyberbots have been out forever.
Yeah, I got Cyberbots during season 2. And I looked at them and I was like, oh shit, these are really cool. I got like an angel.
they're like Future Fest to me. So
They are a little bit, yeah.
So I got one of those. The
One of these?
1420. Yeah, I got one of those.
Ooh, that's fire.
But like I sold it because there wasn't enough interest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From people. And so I was like, well, crap. And I think it was like 75 to mint.
Not bad.
Which wasn't, yeah, but I mean, ADA was like $3 at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say back when it happened, it was a bit, but
I was like, all right, here we go. But yeah, I don't know. I hope they do well. I know that they have some like you can customize them, right? That was the biggest thing. But that's why I bought it, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna put these two together and it's gonna come out. And it was basically just like a mix and match of different traits and features. And so I think he's developed it a little bit more, but I don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
They do have the figurine thing where you can print out your 3D model. They'll also give you the files to do it if you have your own 3D printer. If not, you can buy one of their base ones and they'll send you like a package in the mail. And then the ones that are decorated the best, they're going to have competitions. And whoever has like the coolest one, they'll be giving either ADA or an NFT to, something like that. They also have one of their like rare ones. I don't know exactly how you get it. I'd have to look again. But it's like a Bluetooth screen. And you can put like a chart on it, or you can have like an NFT slideshow on it. And it's a figurine with like a Bluetooth screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, that's cool. Yeah,
it's really cool.
I'm still waiting on my Nano screen, so
yeah,
I'm wondering if that's ever gonna ship out.
Does it still say like waiting?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just waiting. Yeah.
Jesus. How long ago did you order that?
January.
Oh, was it coming from like Thailand or something?
It was coming from China. Then it got stopped in Germany through customs, and it didn't have certain criteria, I guess. So they had to like ship it back.
No refund?
He said we could get refunds, but I was like, no, I want my damn Nano, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just send it to me. I don't care if it's off brand, like whatever. I'll buy it China direct. I don't care.
I feel you.
I want to be able to show off my NFTs, right?
Yeah.
Like an ultimate dork at work and this, that, and the other. But they're stopping me.
I feel you. So getting back to Cardano Casino, I know we got off topic a little bit with the podcast, but you're talking about certain metaverses. Do you know which metaverses other than Cardastax that you want to work inside of?
Yeah, so we are actually we are in touch with Carter Station. They have that moon planet going on, which actually is you can actually interact with it. So they have some racing going on in there, like car racing, stuff like that. So we are looking at working on something with them. Hopefully BCRC is going to be huge for us if we can get on there. Pavia, and then we are looking at newer metaverses too, such as Virtua and also Iconicos. But again, we just have to see kind of like what they're doing and then what we can do to basically like deploy on their metaverse. and hopefully we can get on there too.
Gotcha. You have anything to add, Cleanup?
What do you think your favorite aspect of your own project is, besides community or like whatever it may be? Do you have like a particular game that you like, or maybe something that you've...
I mean, I personally enjoy blackjack, but you know, like when it comes to casino games, but I personally don't play casino games a whole lot. I'm familiar with them, and you know, I do have a finance degree and stuff, so you know, I just have learned to be careful. um, so that's the only reason. But I do like blackjack a lot, and I would say the one thing I do like about the project, I think, is the fact that we have tried to cover every aspect and every area with it. So, you know, you're fully safe, your investment is safe, and we can make sure like you're benefiting you in the long run. So,
and so you're going to have different levels, like different tables, I guess you would say, to where it's like maybe high roller table and...
Exactly. So we're going to have VIP rooms, everything like that. And again, you would get access based on the assets that you hold. So we'll release all the details after the mint.
And for the ones that people will be able to bid on with their currency that they get through either holding your NFT or playing the games, will those NFTs that they're bidding on be voted on via like a DAO or something like that?
Yeah, so we're gonna have a DAO system, and then you would vote on some projects that you would like, and you feel like they're blue chip or whatever the case may be. We would end up telling you what the amount of ADA is that we have available, and the community votes. We purchase them. And at that point, we put them up in our weekly or daily, whatever the case may be, auctions, and then people can bid on it and basically like earn them.
Have you ever thought about a way to bet like NFTs against each other? Like, okay, so
this is one thing that's in the works that we were not supposed to say anything about, but we are going to have a peer-to-peer. So right now you have something like a trading tent, right? And you go there and you trade with somebody. And we're gonna have basically like almost like the same platform where you can do like, let's say, equine later on. They have horse racing, right? And you want to bet with somebody, so you guys can both log in, connect your wallets. You put out whatever you want, they put out whatever they want, and then you can do a peer-to-peer, you know, kind of like a betting. So that's what we have and we are thinking of. And also, like, obviously, same thing would go for sports betting, anything like that you want to do peer-to-peer. That would be just between you guys. You guys do it. And we just take it like a minimal, like a ADA, like a transaction fee or such.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'd actually never thought about that. Could you do like a mixture too, like 25 ADA, this NFT versus like somebody else's NFT?
Yeah, so again, when you go on a trading tent, you can attach some ADA, you can attach like multiple NFTs from multiple projects. So it's just going to be up to you. You guys make your own agreements, you sign it on the chain, it goes and sits there. And, you know, basically like after the results are in, whoever has won will receive all the assets. And then for example, another thing would be, sorry, I lost train of thoughts. If it comes back, I'll let you know, because I think there was another feature too. Sorry.
All good.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, you know, one thing I think would be interesting, very high risk, you know, so it'd almost be like a high roller bet, right? So like, let's say you have Frog Factory, right, who does their darts and this, that, and the other, and does poker tournaments, and that's pretty cool. But imagine like, okay, so how you get in is you have to put up one of this particular NFT, and then the person at the end gets some of those NFTs, and then the second place and third place gets those NFTs. You know what I'm saying? So your buy-in is you have to hold this NFT, but at the end it's like, this is the one you're putting up to join the tournament, and then everybody else just starts.
So we have another thing called basically like the house idea, which you can be actually the house instead of us. And we would have like two systems for that. One is a no loss option, where let's say a bunch of people, let's say 4 or 5 people, they come in and they create this pool, and basically like all the money that's gained from that at the end will go to a random person. Again, that's why we want to kind of try to use Chainlink and stuff like that. But let's say 5 people enter in and they put up, just as an example, like 20K in ADA. And then that's the house money, and we work with that. And let's say it becomes like 24K ADA. Everybody gets their money back, but that extra 4K that was made will randomly go to one of those 5 people that basically like contributed to it. So that way you're not like losing anything as being the house either, but also, you know, there's still a chance for you to earn something too. So that's like another concept that you have that it's not super similar to what you're talking about, but I guess it addresses it halfway.
Yeah. So Arrow Art also says, are you betting on in real life sports like, you know, like either, I don't know, maybe equine, not in real life, but you know, equine in real life, or
So that
racing?
would be the idea. So that would be the idea that you can do bet on, hopefully, the projects on Metaverse that are bettable, and also like obviously like regular IRL sports and things of that nature too. Because the long-term goal for us and the reason as to why we are trying to actually go by all these legalities and things is because later on we want to build value for our token by trying to approach these casinos in Vegas, and later on when this becomes more mainstream, they're going to need a bridge and entry point, and they're not going to be super familiar. And if at that point we come with 4 or 5 years of experience, security, and we already have a platform up and running, maybe we can create a relationship where, as right now, you go to Vegas, you actually have to play there, earn your credits for food, you know, next time gambling, or your free stay at the hotel, and then you come home. But how about if you're home and you're like, okay, I want to go to Vegas, and you can like kind of gamble here beforehand, earn your rewards or earn your money, and then go on your vacation, you know, through them. And obviously it would create a loyalty system for them too. So that would be the long-term goal for us.
That makes sense. And are you going to get like a percentage cut from all of the bids, and that way constant revenue will kind of be flowing into the team?
Exactly. So we would be, it wouldn't necessarily be for the team, to be honest with you. I think for the team, it would just be taking it from the overall casino revenue. But for this bidding and stuff like that, we probably will not take much. Everything will go back to the community, or somehow distribute it towards like more rewards, or just like maintenance costs to keep the services up. The team personally will not take anything for themselves.
So when dealing with like the legalities of it or whatever it may be, how can you ensure that somebody who is placing a bet is in legal standing to be able to bet?
So that would be the future of it. So again, at the moment, we want to still keep it in a way, because we are not forced yet, because NFTs are not security yet, and there's still so many unknowns about them. So at the moment, you can get away with it, but in the long run, we basically like. Sorry, what was your question again? I just want to make sure I answer it.
So how can you ensure that the person placing a bet is of legal age to be betting?
Yeah. So that was the KYC portion that I was talking about earlier. So basically, like if you're in countries such as United States or certain countries, you will have to do KYC. And with that being said, it means you will have to put your chippies, even if you don't want to reveal your identity on everything you own, because I can understand people are making money off NFTs, and at the moment they don't necessarily have to report it and pay taxes on it. And if you have to come on our platform and do KYC, now everything you own is, you know, available, and your identity is known in a sense, although technically it is already out there on the blockchain if they really wanted to, and I'm sure in the future there will be an app. But obviously we don't want to scare people away. So at the moment, the business is going to get registered in a country where it does not require KYC. And that's the only reason for that is because, again, there's no regulations in place at the moment. And the fact that we are just getting up and running, because there's going to be like many ongoing costs for us as far as like maintaining these licenses. So like at the moment, we gotta like not go too big, especially based on where the market is right now. But as we progress, we're going to acquire like better licenses. And as we do that, they are going to require KYC. And at that point, you can just put your chippies, your assets that you're willing to interact with the, you know, metaverse or our casino metaverses with. You would put them in a specific wallet, and you would do KYC. And that's how we would know who you are.
Gotcha. And that'll work for, I'm assuming, location as well, because I know some states in the United States are legal for gambling and some are not.
Exactly. Actually, yeah. So, I mean, unless you're going to be using VPN, I don't know how much we can do about that. But yes, technically it would be banned.
Gotcha.
But
And then Green Man wants to know, when will the casino be launched? I'm dying for something like that to be done on Cardano.
I mean, to be honest with you, all of it is not on us. So there's parts that we can deliver. So for example, we would get the platform up and running so people can, interact with it. We would have the Vox collection that will drop. We will get basically like everything ready. But part of it is also on these metaverses to be ready and also compatible for us to deploy our assets, such as, the slot machine that we were talking about, you being able to place it there and actually play the casino games through that. Part of it is also them working with us and having that capability to do that. So, which I don't think we are there yet, but obviously we just have to do our part and be ready for when that time comes.
Gotcha. And then his other question was, can I trade in my NFTs for casino tokens?
Unfortunately, not your NFTs, but there would be an option for you to trade your NFTs for ADA, and then your ADA would go to our token. Yes.
Gotcha.
So, what has you most excited to develop, or are you more of like the public outreach person, or kind of like what is your official role in with the team?
So with the team, I'm the founder, so I'm the brains of the operation. So I came up with the whole thing, but I am not like super into speaking public and stuff like that. I am a bit to myself. I'm a nerd, but for this project, it does require me to come out and make sure we market it correctly, make sure we do get our ideas and our visions out there. So that's why you're seeing me, since I'm the face of the project. I have to be here, but for the most part, I do keep to myself and I work in quiet. But yeah, but we do have an artist. His name is Mac. He has already worked on multiple projects. He worked on Boss DAO, which was a DAO system for BCRC, and then his first project was Project 2090. And we have like actually a couple members from there. So we have a marketer from there. We have obviously their artist, and our minting dev has had experience with Project 2090 and a couple other mints.
Yeah, I remember
That's
2090.
cool. Yeah, 2090.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
little bit
crazy.
ago. That wasn't very long ago. Like,
Yeah,
really.
I mean, they were one of the first projects that sold. Like, I think they sold within 5-10 minutes. They were really hyped. They were these cyborgs. I mean, it was one of the really cool new ideas out there. So they did pretty well back then.
Yeah, I was a fan of these. I bought 2 of them at 60, I believe. I watched them run up all the way to like 120, and then I watched them come all the way back down to here. But yeah,
I think
no,
at
they're
some point,
cool.
Boss DAO was like purchasing a lot of them for their basically like vaults. So I think that's why they went up so much. But also they all had the fact that you could infect them. So that was another thing that you could have done. So there was a little bit of hype during that time, people wanting to infect some of their cyborgs.
That's right. Yeah, Boss DAO came out I think a little bit after them, after 2090.
Yeah, I would say so. It was a decent amount afterwards, but yeah. Boss DAO was basically like another collection that he worked on. That collection was a little bit rushed, so that's why they actually released the first collection, and then there was the second collection, which was like more complete and a lot more detail into it.
Right. And so I didn't know when I first saw these, I didn't know if it was like legit, like if Boss Cat actually gave them the okay to do this, or
well, at first they were kind of staying on the sidelines, but then Blue Magic came out and actually vouched for them. And that's when they really got a huge, like basically like following, and they sold out literally because of that. Like they vouched for them. So yeah.
Okay, and that's good. But it's just like it's a separate team. It's not actually a part.
It is a separate team, and I mean their goal is to basically like mostly they wanted to invest into BCRC, but obviously they're investing in other projects too. I think the one thing that is an issue there is the fact that the whole goal is obviously for you to make money, and it seems like for them mostly they just buy and it kind of sits there. So as a whole there, you may not necessarily see too many benefits yet, at least at this moment, because they were not really selling it at profit. It's just sitting there. But technically you do own, I think it's about 75-80% of your NFT is like basically like your share. So whatever that amount is, you have in these whatever they hold. So
Yeah, I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of DAOs is when do you sell, and then how do you distribute, all the earnings to make it worth it for everybody. I think that's where Rat's DAO is really struggling.
Yeah, I think actually that's one thing that I think the block is trying to address with his project with Jelly Cubes. I think it's just trying to figure out a system where they can actually because basically you have to put it up for voting, right? And if not everybody's voting on time and stuff like that, the time has passed. You can't sell that asset or you can't buy that asset. So I think he's actually trying to figure out an innovative way that he has in his project for you to actually be profitable through these basically like exchanges and trades. So we'll see how they do.
Well, it's Jelly Cubes. That's going to be like.
Yeah, it's from the Block Investment Group. Yeah, it's $100.
$100,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of more like a closed group, so you can. I mean, again, the goal is to get these whitelists and all that stuff. So hopefully, you should get the value out of it.
Let it be known, Nick, you were one of the first to do that.
To do what?
To do the whitelist.
Yeah.
One of the benefits is being on the whitelist and stuff.
Yeah, I think like everybody's doing that now. I think a lot of projects are now like reaching out and like basically like collecting these whitelists and stuff.
You're trending, Nick.
I should have patented it.
Probably, because now everybody's doing that, collecting whitelists for their community and such. So.
Yeah, no, I know it was happening on ETH even way before me, so definitely wasn't the first to do it, but was the first to I think make a whole project around it. That's for sure.
Yeah, based off your CNFT knowledge, man. Yeah. So Nick, I spoke about what I bought. What did you buy?
All right, so I bought, man.
How long was the drought? How long was the drought?
It was about a month and a half, which is a pretty long time in the CNFT world. I bought 2 Beyond Citizens. I watched Awesome is JL's daily recap today of them, and I was actually shocked that they had sold out all of their 10K. I love the project. I just didn't think at that price and during this bear market we would see a 10K collection sell out. So I was very surprised, and once I saw that, I was like, okay. I think this means that probably 1,000 owners own like 10. And sure enough, I come and that's like what's going on. So I was like, all right, I have to get these before all of these giant whales, scoop up all of these. And then, like a month or 3 months later, these are sitting at like 200, 300 and I'm kicking myself. So also the art is just something I just love it. I know it's voxel, but to me, clean voxel is clean. It's really clean. So anyways, I'll show the 2 that I bought. I'll scroll down here. I got these 2 right here, and I absolutely love them. They got the white hair, and this hoodie is just so clean.
Yeah, they look neat.
I do like the hoodie, and like I said, I think the white hair is a rare trait to you. So, I mean, that's good. But I'm always a fan of a hoodie. I wish they had the hoodie on, but not my project, not my art. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, actually, you didn't make me, but you told me about the about these from
the blue bags.
Old Bold.
Yeah.
And let's see, can I click here and show them? No.
The stickers. No, I think you have to go on pool.
I have to go to pool.
Yeah.
All right. It's scary to type in PO on this computer.
I know.
You know what I'm
saying? I was like, he's rolling the dice, baby.
Hey, man. Yo, let me go get my. All right, and then we'll go. We'll go.
You would not catch me do that.
You gotta do it real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So
look at that. Look at that Holden. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's got equine, which I'm selling my equine right now. My 153.
Yeah, I heard you say that. What are you selling it for?
I'm not gonna be able to do what I want to do. I cannot, dude. I have zero time on my hands.
Gotcha.
And
so yeah, the threefold bolt did that, which was tight.
And this is just one of them. You buy a pack, and they were what, like 25, 26 ADA?
Yeah, 26, I think.
Yeah, and you get 3 of these. So this is just the first one. This is called System Corrupt.
Yeah.
And then, I got to go back.
Yeah, back.
And open new tab. So here's the second one, which is called Grim and Barrett. And this one looks really cool.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, their art is just fantastic. And then this is Sunset Discharge.
Which
Kind
is
of reminds me of
Especially for the
Disco.
price, I think it's really good. 26 for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It comes in this little, I guess, metaphorical looking pack that you'd
Package.
get in the mail. Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool.
which
Really
which
cool.
they always do really cool stuff like that. So if you guys haven't checked out Threefold Bold, I know Taste was on the podcast, one of our first shows or whatever. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not gonna have any time to do equine, man. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna sell the thing for like 800 ADA, call it a day, and just hold on to it, and either try to mint Kongs or do something. But mine is
Bitcoin
like
came right back down. These were at like 370 at one point.
it
Yeah,
did,
it's
yeah.
actually really close to 400. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you still got yours at 265.
that's
So
true. And it was a good stat. It was like
and it
a
was good stuff,
132.
yeah, it was
It's not
132.
bad. Do you own any equine Jinx?
I do. Basically, like anything that's related to our project or will relate to our project, I've tried to own a couple pieces. So yeah.
Hell yeah, dude! How awesome would that be? You're gonna race, and then I'm gonna bet against myself because I'm bad like that. You know? That's how I'm gonna make all my money.
And then you'll get some passive income from it back at least. So, yeah,
Exactly.
that'll
I'll spend
So-
like the 28 to race my horse, and then I'll put him with the wrong jockey on purpose, and then I'll bet
Dude,
against him.
don't do that. What are you doing right now?
I'm just
You're
messing
trying to
with
cheat
you.
the system. No, look at him. He's winking at the camera right now as you speak, bro. Winking at the camera.
This is how I'm gonna make all my money. And when I become a millionaire, I'm gonna lie about it, tell everybody that I did it flipping NFTs, and then I'll sell my programming course on how to get rich quick. I'll sit behind Lamborghinis.
Bet against yourself and equine. Just get that 96 stat horse, the lowest of the low, and ride it into the sunset after the second year. So, yeah, but it's just been kind of. I don't know what to mint, what's going to hit, what's not going to hit, because there was at one point I kind of liked it was Ada V, like Ada Devils, AD1.
Oh, I know which project you're talking about. I think they were having a hard time actually selling out. I thought they were going to be hot, but
Yeah.
they struggled for a bit.
So
Right.
originally thought like, okay, not quite pendulum, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
some of their stuff was cool. And then all of a sudden it was like it crapped out. So
Yeah.
it seems like nothing is sticking. You know what I mean?
How did TED Nation end up doing after everything? Because I know that a lot of people were really pleased with TED. And
I'll be
I know-
honest with you, I made some money off of like because we were actually sitting in Block is Hot's voice chat, and one of the owners joined in and he was like, "Oh, this just stays with you guys, but Shopping Addict is gonna be it's gonna be very useful, and there's a special perk for it and stuff like that." So then he left. Next thing you know, we all sniped. Obviously including me, I bought a few, 2 or 3, but I'm sure other people did the same thing. And next thing you know, the floor of the Shopping Addict shot up from like 110 to 250. So I think I just sold and I moved on, to be honest with you. But it seems like they're also struggling a little bit because I think their mint price was 99. So
Yeah, that's a smart move. I've been looking for something to flip, and I've been debating too. Because you need to or at least this is my thought behind it, is that you kind of need to constantly switch up your approach to making money in this market. It used to be don't mint, just buy good projects, and now it turned into mint everything. Everything's flippable, and now
Literally,
it's don't mint anything, don't even buy anything except for the one project of that month, which is impossible to ever predict. So yeah, I'm wondering.
You just have to find the best one somehow and just go all in.
Yeah, now is just the time to wait for dips and buy good projects. That's kind of the only thing that I see as I don't know, a for sure win.
Exactly. I think that's the way to go too right now. For example, personally, I've been buying some Ape Society cabins, like whenever I find good deals, because I can see some people get impatient, and they don't know the rarity, they don't know how good the land is, so they just put it up thinking, put it up for average, and then sometimes you can get like really good stuff. I did watch the Econicos. I think they had a podcast yesterday or 2 days ago that they went over their project. So I guess their hoodies are coming out. They mentioned some stuff for the passport holders, that they're going to have this app that you can interact with and enter their world using that, I guess. So I've been holding on to a couple of Econicos that I bought, like the silver ones that I bought on average around like the 300-ish floor, almost as the same as bronze. So I'm just holding to 4 or 5 of those, see what happens with those. But other than that, I'm just, chilling.
Dang, these kind of went up in price. I remember these were no, they didn't. They went down in price. They minted for 333, then they went up to like 450, and now they're back down to 300. That's crazy.
Yeah, so the bronze is down to 300. I mean, silver, some people would put up their silvers at 300, 299. So because, again, they're getting impatient. They want to pull the ADA out, put in something else. So sometimes you can get good deals here if you still obviously believe in this project. It could be a sleeper, because if they actually release some cool stuff and, they are actually delivering, then you can sit on some nice profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with any metaverse, you're waiting. You have to be, seriously. And people put their rent money into it, and they're like, oh man, yeah. They're thinking, oh, I'm going to hold this for like 2 years. No, you can't even hold it for 2 weeks, dude. Like, why bother? Just flip it, right? Do what you're going to do, and then go from there. I don't know.
I think their hoodies are coming out in, I think they said like in August. So I guess that's something that you can look forward to, and that's the first drop that you're receiving, and potentially you can flip, depending on how the market will be for them. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe I would buy again at this price. I freaked out. I bought it. I bought it for 333. I saw the floor instantly as soon as I bought it, dropped to 333, and I was like, I'm just gonna get out. I'll take like a 5/8 loss. I don't care. Like, just let me get out of here. What am I doing? And
I actually did something crazy. I minted one, and I think it was like 700 ADA, if I'm correct. Something around there. And I minted one, and I really got lucky. It ended up being a gold, so I immediately like flipped it for an additional 200 ADA, and I was like, okay, I know this project is gonna like suffer, so I'll just buy back in, when that happens, which is right now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people were like, this project's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out, and I was like, how are they gonna sell 12,400 or 343? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know that they just capped their supply after
Honestly,
that,
the only thing I didn't like about them was the fact that they had so much supply, but the price was so high. But at the same time, they said, "Oh, we don't really need that money. We already have all the money for the development." So it's almost like me coming out for my project and say, "Hey, I'm going to charge everybody like $200, but I don't need it. We have already built the platform in the background. Like, we just want to look good. So like, why would I do that to people? Especially in this market." So I think that's probably why they struggled, but
yeah, that really didn't make sense to me. Also, there were a lot of people whitelisted for half off, so it wasn't a whole lot of incentive to get people to buy during the public. Like a lot of people minted for 330, and I don't see a whole lot of people that are going to mint for 700 if you have half the people or even more minting for half off.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what's up, Grim? Also, what about OG Bears?
Oh yeah, OG
I saw their
Bears.
game is out. I saw.
Yeah. Have you talked to OG Bears at all about some sort of Cardano casino?
We haven't approached them yet, but I'm assuming we should soon, because I think they're a really cool project.
Probably.
And I think they're like actually really delivering. So that will be one of our goals to go out there.
Yeah, they have a pretty cool community guy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, he's an alright guy.
He's swell.
Yeah, he's all right.
Nick, what's your favorite game in there?
So let's see if I can.
It has to be the range, right?
The range is 100% my favorite game.
There was a guy who was he showed himself playing it. Dude, he was going off.
Was he?
Yeah, dude, he was just like killing it, dude. absolutely. They were like nice aimbot, like you know what I mean. Like,
Oh, I'm lagging.
oh, okay.
I'm lagging a little bit.
Is that your spot?
Yeah, this is my crib. My
Where's his
little crib.
clothes? He's got his little dinghy out, dude.
Yeah, so there's no wall integration at the moment. So every bear is the same bear.
Okay.
But yeah, you can. There's the range, so you have to go all the way over to the range, but it takes a long time to run over there. So got to go grab the vehicle.
Nice.
Also, this is the Bad Fox Motorcycle Club over here. Remember when we saw the little sneak peek?
Okay.
Yeah, so there it is in game. You can't use it; it's still in development, but there it is. It'll be there eventually.
Nice.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
That's so sick, man. That's awesome. I'm glad because I don't know too many projects that have this going on right now.
It's just good to see that they're functional. You know,
I did notice that when you do get out of the Jeep or Hummer or whatever, it ghost rides a little bit. You know.
I pressed E as it was moving. I did not mean to do that. But yeah, also the entrance is like here. It's like
it's pretty far. It's far away. See how far that ghost road, dude? It's hilarious. I love it.
Here-ish?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Right there.
Oh, here we go.
This guy got in there, and you're using a Tommy gun, I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, it's lagging hard.
No, he wrecked. He's killing you right now. Dude, he was murdering you. Oh my God.
You're putting pressure on me.
Clicking everywhere.
I'm trying. It's not smooth. I need to like fix my there's going to be game settings where you can adjust your mouse sensitivity, but it hasn't come yet. So right now my mouse sensitivity is really, really low.
Mm-hmm. And Apex Legends. Dude, that would be cool if they had like a bear versus bear battle royale sort of deal.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Oh yeah, and then you get the machine gun.
Yeah. He was just absolutely dominating this. I'm not saying you're not, but you know. But it's cool to see this. I mean, don't get me wrong, like it's just like having a video game, right? You know.
Yeah.
So it's not like revolutionary, but it is cool to be having a project that has something, you know.
Exactly. You're holding on to something that's actually functional, you know.
Right.
I wish I could hear. This gun is like just so loud. I can't hear what you're saying. This is going to be the only round I do because this is way too loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually really cool.
Yeah,
the
dude.
dart game is like kind of I think too easy. You just have to like pick a spot and then let go every time and you can get a bullseye.
Well, good. That's my style of game. Like I said, zero luck, zero
I told myself I'm gonna take a break. I actually used to play a lot of video games. At some point I was a semi-pro in Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, who was your main?
I used to play support characters because again I was the intel guy and like the planner, so I used to play Thermite a lot.
Okay.
I had to stay alive, you know, open up the walls.
Yeah, I was big into Thermite. He had like one of the best guns in the game.
Yeah.
And I had like the fruit stripe gum, like paint on it. Yeah. And man, that was so good. I always had clips where I would blind fire with the sniper, right? And it would snipe like right in.
I think that was just one of the first games that was like really cool. You actually have to plan stuff, you know. Yeah. You actually every operator had functionalities and stuff. You have to work together, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What other games did you play?
Yeah, so currently when I have free time, I'll be playing probably a little bit of Apex Legends.
Okay. Do you have a main in Apex, not Wraith?
No, I didn't. Actually, I do not play Wraith at all. If I play, it's going to be Valkyrie or I think mostly I play Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie. She's kind of OP. Like she.
It's just that I just like to have high ground, you know. So it just gives you automatic advantage, and she's just the best at that. So.
Yeah. Plus, you can see everybody on the map, like everything like that. If you just zoom
Yeah, plus all the
around.
broken stuff. Yes.
You sound a little
Yeah.
salty, Cleanup.
No, it's fine. You know somebody on the team. Well, because like I'll have somebody dead to rights. They'll pop the corner, do an ultimate real quick, because they'll be at like mid range, and then they'll go behind a rock, a big boulder, and ultimate with whoever else they're rolling with. Like I don't know. Normally it's like Valkyrie and Gibraltar, right? And so they'll just sit there alt and get out of the situation. I'll try to fire at them and kill them, but it's too late. They're out.
It sounds like you're chasing a little bit. It sounds like you see somebody, they run behind a rock, and you're like, I still got to get them. And then they pop around the corner like, psych, and they got you.
That is true, though. But no, they don't kill me. They just run away.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, I'm only one guy because I do duos and I solo queue. I don't fill my team. I'm just like...
You're that guy.
They're frustrated. Teammates are sometimes frustrating. I'm going to be quite honest with you. And
he's not lying, especially on Apex. He's not lying.
Yeah,
because a couple games, Apex, Valorant, you can't play with teammates.
Oh yeah, Rocket League's kind of rough too, but at least everybody's roughly the same skill. But sometimes you'll get in there and it's like this dude can air dribble, but he can't, like block a shot to save his life, so he just gets scored on. But like you'll see him just like dribbling through the air for like a minute. You're just like, oh, that's really cool. And then like 2 seconds later, he's like backflipping in your net.
Teddy, stop him! All you have to do is press the A button. Yeah, no, can't do it. No, but yeah, I stuck to first-person shooters a little bit, and then I also like Elite Dangerous a lot. Just because it's space themed and like travel from different system to system. And
is that what you brought up with Prosperia?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually hadn't played that game, but yeah, you guys made it sound freaking amazing. Like I was missing out.
It is. It's fun. Like it's very, very fun. And then you can like pirate things. You can mine. You can do all different sorts of stuff. But yeah,
another game that I play is Tarkov 2. Tarkov is, I guess.
Okay.
Do you guys play Escape from Tarkov at all? Because that one has a lot of stuff too. You kind of have to like loot. You have to actually go in a raid, survive, find stuff, come out, and then you actually have like basically like a space that you upgrade. So it mines like Bitcoin and such for you. And you can see like functionalities. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. It's like really realistic.
Yeah,
very punishing,
really cool.
But yeah.
Very punishing. Like I'm telling you, like I've seen the biggest thing I've seen when people play is it's very hard to tell when like you've actually killed somebody. Is there something that pops up on the screen, or is it just
no? So you actually have to see if you have dropped them. And the thing is, like even if they're teammates, you can't tell if they're teammates or enemies. So you guys have to be communicating. Otherwise, like you kill your teammate, and the next thing you hear is like, "Oh, I'm dead. Somebody killed me." And I'm like, that could have been me. Until it basically like shows the name and they're like, oh yeah, you killed me. So
were you the one wearing the green beret?
Yeah.
Damn it, Johnny. No, but
so that game is tough.
Yeah. It seemed a little too hardcore for me. But you were in a Rainbow Six Siege. I was in a Rainbow Six Siege. Did you ever get in to that, Atlanick?
I played a little bit of it. I didn't go like when that game came out, I was in Europe. I was in the UK. And my roommate above me, all I would hear is constant yelling, screaming, throwing, pounding the desk. That was Rainbow Six Siege for me. Yeah. That was the closest I got to the game.
Yeah, that probably was me when I was mad at my team. God damn it. But we did pretty good. We actually went to the semi-pro level, but we got our asses handed to us after that.
That's really cool, though. Where was the tournament that you played in?
So it was mostly online at that time, but right after that, they started hosting them in Canada. So most of them were in Montreal, just because I think Ubisoft was located there. So I got to go to one or two.
So it's like ESLs and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only competitive game that I've ever played was, I played Halo 3. I was really good at it, but I never went and competed. But I still play Smash Brothers Melee, and I'll go to a tournament like once a year, maybe. I still love that game.
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
I can't. There's just too much shit that I'm doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of arthritis involved in playing that game. you look at like if you know like what the buttons are and like how to do this stuff, and then you watch like a professional player, like all you hear is, hold up, I got a controller. All you hear, all right, GameCube. All you hear is this, like for hours, constantly on end. And we have like smash houses by where I live, so like a bunch of my friends. So actually, there was a party yesterday at my friend's house. He had a pool party, which is awesome because I hadn't been outside or swam in for freaking ever. So it was awesome. And yeah, as soon as you walk into the house, it's like, like 10 people just all like, you just hear it from like outside, but you get kind of used to it.
Besides doing this, like, what do you do in your spare time?
For me, I mean, it's just at the moment, it's mostly working on the project and just basically just dealing with the NFTs. That's my hobby at the moment. But I used to play a little bit of sports too. I used to play volleyball, a bit of basketball. So hopefully if I get a chance, I go do those things too. But for the most part, just sticking with the project at the moment. That's the most important thing on our plate. So other than that, if I have like some time to just chill, just probably a little bit of video games, work with my brother. He's actually like, he's working on his music stuff. He's actually really good. So we're trying to figure out a way, see if we can actually like release his music in an NFT format or something like that. So we are working on that. So just a lot going on. I don't have a whole lot of time for other stuff, just like you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have a sample you want to share or that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can send it to you. Should I send it through this private chat or maybe Discord, or is there?
Yeah, you can send it to Discord. You can also share your screen if you want, and then you can just send it to me. It might be a difficult explanation.
Yeah, no worries. I'll send them to you right now. They're samples. They're not like complete songs, but there's something there to listen to, definitely.
Sweet.
You should receive them soon. They're about 30-40 megabytes per file, so it's taking a little bit to come through.
So is your whole family talented and smart, or how does this work?
I mean, we try our best. I mean, not really. Nobody else. I mean, my dad was a businessman in Iran, so he was actually pretty successful there. But I did lose him about 5 years ago. But I'm just trying to basically like follow his footsteps and just make something out of myself. And honestly, I feel like obviously USA is land of opportunities, and I got a chance to move here when I was 14. So this is my chance to basically like make my parents proud. So I got to do whatever I can to make it happen.
So what is the biggest contrast between living somewhere else and then living in the United States?
I don't know anywhere else, but at least from my experience living in Iran, we face a lot of basically like you don't have a whole lot of freedom. So I think that's the one thing that I appreciate here a lot. You have a say on things, and you don't get basically like suppressed or punished if you want to speak your mind or do certain things that you should be able to. So I think that's the one thing that I value the most, because to be honest with you, if I were to go back to Iran, I could probably live comfortably and not have to work a single day. But here I am having to work every day, probably spend like more hours than normal to try to make it happen in the United States. But it's worth it to me. So
yeah, I was saying this the other day. I was like, I wonder, and I don't, somebody's going to take it wrong. I don't care, whatever, I'm saying it. Like if we were like, or if I was like poor and I grew up in a country that was like really poor, and you just kind of live in a life where, I don't know, let's say like $50 or $100 a month is like rent or whatever you need to live. I kind of see that as freeing to a degree. Now, sure, it's likely a third world country. There's probably not like as many police. There's probably a lot of crime, stealing, all that bad stuff that comes with that. But in a sense, like mentally wise, all you have to do is like wake up, you play with your friends, you like, you make some like jewelry, you try to sell it or whatever it is. But it seems kind of like a nomadic lifestyle a little bit. It seems kind of more relaxing than this American like grind to keep up with everybody.
Yeah, honestly, I think it just depends on your goals because, like I said, I'm pretty sure there's like some other countries that you can go to and actually like be able to enjoy that money, go on vacation, do whatever you want. I'm just saying, probably like taking that money and going to Iran is not the best choice, but I'm sure there's other countries, like you have countries like Thailand and stuff like that, where with $500,000 or $1 million, you're probably set for life. So. Yeah, I'm sure there's like plenty of choices, and what you're saying is definitely correct. It just depends on which country you're aiming to go to.
Yeah, those just came in too, by the way. So I'm gonna try to share those. So I'm gonna go here, share audio. All right. Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. Life isn't a game, but it's playing me dumb. Yeah, whoa, life isn't a game, but it's playing me dumb. For each happy day, there's a painful one. I smoke Mary Jane till my brain goes numb. Everybody wonders when the rain gon' come. Whoa, when the rain gon' come. Everybody wonders when the rain gon' come. Whoa, when the rain gon' come. Everybody wonders when the rain gon' come. Whoa, when the rain gon' come. Everybody wonders when the rain gon' come. Whoa, yeah. When the rain gon' come. Whoa, everybody wonders when the rain gon' come. What can I say? It took me a minute, but I'm on my way. Got easy like Messi scoring goals at the Barclays. If you ain't money minded, we should probably part ways. Bodies and miles with me when we parlay. Every time that I step in, I'm the best man, I'm the life of the party. But where did it come from? I've been a beast since a young one. Mama gave me a teacher, I just told her don't want one. Taught myself half of the things that I know. When you live life on a blade, you be learning the most. Broke niggas fuck with her hoes, but my ops where the dirt goes. Keep playing, get your work, bro. Go out a month and return home. Give me butane just to burn hoes. Got to do things like a jerk, bro. Like drink with the limit to hurt, yo. While I'm on the run from the blurp, yo. Roll me a blunt and I'm turned, yo. Me on the front of a shirt, yo. Keep it 100 at work, bro.
Yeah, so that's the first one. And
Yo, that was pretty
the
fire.
second one will get you probably a little bit in your feelings, but
No, that's straight.
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's hear it.
I actually put his music in our Muse world too. But,
Cool. No, I like this.
Gotta support the homie, you know.
Definitely.
100%.
I can feel the moments they've been slipping from my grasp. I can't wait up, they gon' hate us, cause they ain't us. I got lots of people gotta carry on my back. I ain't fumbling the bag on my way up. I stay dangerous, step out, leave them stumbling. Wish they had my swag, cause I got it in the bag. I ain't changed none, had this stress since day one. Saw the chance and came up, struggled on my way up. Money can be claimed, but make sure it doesn't claim ya. You know it's getting toxic when it's real cause of the pain, bruh. Sometimes it comes right off and sometimes it leaves a stain, yeah. I sometimes get off topic cause it helps with staying sane, yeah. I just want the money, I ain't thinking about the fame, yeah. I've been searching for something that I can even name, yeah. I've been loving way too hard and no one shows the same, yeah. I don't wanna break your heart, to me it's all the same, yeah. I was born to play it way before I knew the game, yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah, he has a music video too. Like he has like one music video that came out a couple years back. That's a complete song.
Does he make the beats too, or does he just record?
Yeah, he has actually gone to school for audio engineering. So not basically like some of these beats that you heard are not his, but he does make his own beats and he does do the audio adjustments and engineering.
That's what's up, dude. That's really, really good. Like that's really clean.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, he'll definitely be working with us in the casino too. So basically, like hopefully later on in the metaverse when we hold events and stuff like that, he'll definitely make an appearance. So
that is so freaking cool. Man, I'm in my feelings now. I'm just like, man, put it back on. Let me vibe out. Where's the joint? You know what I'm saying?
I like the first one. Second one was I would say cream of the crop there, as Macho Man Randy Savage would say. Man, it was good. It was
Thank
good.
you. Appreciate it.
I could roll with it in the car.
100%.
You know.
The second one too reminded me a little bit of like Drake, a little bit like that kind of style. You know? What
Yeah,
I mean?
he actually has some other songs that he actually really sounds like Drake. Like he has about probably like 15, 20 polished songs that are complete. So
Nice.
again, we were just trying to figure out a way to get them out there, and we'll see what happens.
Gotcha. So what? Do you have any hidden talents?
Other than the stuff that I've told you, probably not.
No.
Ambidextrous, you know.
Yeah.
Throw with your left arm and your right arm. Kick with your left leg and your right leg. Double jointed.
No, I'm trying to think. Honestly, no, not really.
Now you have tattoos. How many tattoos do you have?
Honestly, it's just one piece. It's just a really big piece because basically like it's half of my
Your
chest and arm. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool. When did you get that done?
10 years ago. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Fresh when I was 18, made the decision, you know.
Dude, it's hilarious. Okay, so, you know, were your parents around when you got the tattoo?
Trust me, having Persian Iranian parents, you really probably don't want to tell them. So I pretty much had to make sure it was a done deal and just show it after it was done, because if it was previous to that, I probably would have never been able to pull it off. So.
No.
Yeah.
And so when I got my first tattoo done or whatever, I come home and my arm is like bandaged up, you know, and this, that, and the other, and I just come out with my shirt like off, you know, and I'm like kind of cut, you know, looking good, like showing off, you know, whatever. And then my mom sees it, and oh my God, she started crying. Like she was like, "You're throwing away your life. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
exactly what you're talking about.
You know, and she didn't talk to me, man, for a solid week.
You do realize you can never remove that from your body, right? That's part of you now.
Yes, mother.
Yes, I know. That's
But I'm 18 and I'm foolish, you know, and so, but art is addicting. You know what I mean? Like tattoos, getting tattoos are addicting. You know, because it's so cool to see. So I can see how NFTs would be addicting, you know, and collecting them and like being able to look inside your wallet and stuff. And have you ever thought about if your chippies sell out, getting a chippy tattoo?
Oh man. That's rough, but based on where the market is right now, I mean, if we do sell out, I could probably work something out and get something, but something nice though. But yeah.
What do you say? A chippy tattoo?
I can commit to that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, forehead, right on the forehead.
No, I don't think unless we drop a 20,000 collection and it sells out within 5 minutes, then I don't think I'll be doing anything like that.
I think that's pretty much the only way that you quote unquote throw away your life, right? It's like, I want to be a SoundCloud rapper. I got the teardrops and I got the barbed wire and the, you know, like that's the only way to really throw away your life. I think tattoos are pretty normal now. I know they weren't back in the day, but they're fairly normalized now. I don't think people really discriminate.
Now. I think they're more mainstream, and I think at least our parents or people are more accepting of them. You know, I think beforehand you would have been a gangster or, you know, something like that to have tattoos. So I think at least that's what my mom was really thinking. You know. So.
Yeah. So David Diaz is gonna get Elvis Chipley on his left butt cheek. That is respect.
Yeah, that's actually like that's my coworker or ex-coworker, because I usually try to actually get my people that are around me into the space too, you know, because I think it's important to do that. And actually David has been nice enough to invest when probably the market wasn't the best, because when I started talking to them, the ADA was, I think, like $1.60, $1.70, you know. So they've started buying all the way down to 40 and put it into NFTs. So I'm thankful for them for trusting and actually joining, because I think it's important to get more people involved. You know, Cardano needs more people on it. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What's maybe something that could make Cardano more attractive to everybody?
I just think, honestly, it's exposure to other chains, and I think like increasing the quality of the art, because I think in the past, I think the art wasn't just there, and that's why the expectation and prices are not there either. You know, like people are like, again, I guess it's just that we have to set higher standards. That's the one thing that I think we should do, and also trying to actually reach out to other chains and like basically like get them to notice Cardano more. So that's one thing that we would be aiming at doing after we become stable on Cardano. You know, try to approach other chains, see if we can figure out ways to bring NFTs from their chain or buy NFTs from other chain, so we can actually give exposure to people from Cardano to other projects too from other blockchains, and hopefully that helps them go there and bring some people over here to Cardano too. And of course, with our platform, I'm sure there's stuff we can do, but we just have to figure it out.
Yeah, I saw something pretty interesting today too. The article said that Cardano's only using 40% of its, I guess, like network load. So it could actually use an additional 60%, but there's just not that demand for it. And I think it's because we didn't have a whole lot of implementations of a lot of the things that other blockchains had, and now we do. So I think that's going to start increasing, especially after the hard fork, because games will be able to develop and actually launch their game.
Exactly.
Because they won't have to worry about transaction speeds and stuff like that. But we didn't have that before. Back when we had a large group of following come to Cardano, we saw 1 hour transaction speeds, and everybody was like, "Fuck this," and they left. So next time they come in,
Sunday swap was a big problem by itself. Trying to actually create a pool or stake anything, like it would sit there for days. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think it's just a matter of us keep making like these progresses and hitting these milestones, and then making sure the platform is basically like ready.
Because when Sunday Swap came out, as far as dexes went, that by far was my favorite dex, just because it had a good feel to it. Like, oh, Sunday Swap, it's cute, this, that, and the other. And then I started to look into like Min Swap a little bit more.
Yeah,
kind of what they wanted to do. And I was like, oh crap, this is where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, and so I immediately just started going into Min Swap.
Yeah.
Nothing against Sunday Swap. You guys are cool or whatever. Kind of screwed up the blockchain for a little bit. But yeah, dude, Min Swap is kind of where it's at. I got a Min Swap token and stuff, and yeah, it was definitely cool. Do you use D apps at all or no?
Yeah, definitely. I use the D apps. I try to actually use them within Eternal. Some of the ones that are functional in the Eternal app, just to explore, see what some of the issues are, and then of course it's going to come in handy. I mean, I'm not fully, but of course when we launch our own app and stuff too, it's at least good to have a bit of understanding about some of the basics at least. So.
How do you feel about Lending Pond and lending out either ADA or NFTs?
I have checked it out, and I think I processed like one through their system. I think it's going to be huge. I think there's like more functionalities. Like I think they can work with some other projects potentially to give it like more value, but I think it's gonna be useful. I think it's actually a good alternative to you doing a floor bidding of your NFT, let's say through our project later on, because that way you can actually bring some ADA out, and a portion of it that you won, you can gamble, do whatever the case may be. And even if it goes south, you still have a way of like paying that ADA back and recover your NFT. When to us, you basically have to, or not necessarily us because we don't have that functionality yet, but I know there's another project that's trying to do that. And of course, when that's functional, you're almost locked in to give everything away. So I think they're doing something really cool that you can still like play with the market. If you don't want to sell your asset and stuff, hold on to it for some time. But there's a good opportunity coming around the corner. Just lend it out, get your ADA, and get it back.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of a nicer way to have a passive, 5 to 10%.
Exactly.
If somebody's like, hey, I want to give this this NFT for this, and you can look at it and you can be like, well, I like that NFT, so even if they don't pay me back, I'm getting it for cheap. And if they do pay me back, then I make 5 to 10%. So that's a win-win.
Yeah, of course, you just have to be careful with NFT and stuff like that. But for the most part, as long as you do your, you know, research and you know what you're doing, then you should be fine.
Dude, Naked's back. I love it.
It's okay. He's
Oh,
going
God.
right back in timeout. He did not learn his lesson.
Talked for 5 minutes. Let's go. So what do you look forward to next in Cardano? I mean, the launch of your project, and then to see how the ecosystem goes. Is there something on the horizon Cardano wise that you kind of listen to?
Of course, the upgrade is coming up. Honestly, I'm looking for more DApps at the moment. I think like we just need a lot more DApps to be functional and be out there so people can see the functionalities, utilize them. Because even with NFTs right now, I think part of the problem is that you're just buying them and they sit in your wallet. You know what I mean? So if there's more functionalities for these NFTs to be utilized, then you are going to see, a lot of people be more excited. A lot of people coming from other chains because I guess we no longer have a ghost chain. Everything's like functional. So whatever you're buying, you can immediately use it. So honestly, that's the main thing I'm looking forward to because I feel like it's right around the corner. Although we are in a bear market, I think like we make the most progress during these times, and not a whole lot of people like notice it, but a lot happens during these times. And when the bull market comes around and people start to notice it, then that's when you have your huge gains of 5, 10, 20x through these projects, because that's when they get noticed. So
Gotcha. Do you guys have to sell out by chance to finish your developments or hit a certain target number, or is there a number you'd like to hit?
honestly, if you're talking like budget wise, we don't necessarily have to, because a lot of people that are at least like our artists, myself, couple of like basically like promoters, we are staying here no matter what, so we don't have to necessarily be compensated if it comes down to it. Obviously we would like to be compensated for the effort that we have put in, but if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. But obviously for the functionality of the project and what we are envisioning, it would be ideal for the whole 5,000 to sell, because obviously if you're doing the Vox collection that's dropping, or even the slot machine parts, it's going to require you to hold a certain amount of chippies, or at least hold that one chippy so you can get the box drop for it. So I think it would be just a waste if it doesn't. But obviously, if it doesn't, I don't think it will be something that will stop us from continuing.
Gotcha. Welcome back, Cleanup. You had a little bathroom break, it looks like.
No, wow, and now I'm lagging, I think.
You sound fine on our end. Even look fine.
All of a sudden, my browser had to update, and I guess I didn't mute it for 5 minutes. It's going to restart in like 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden it just restarted. And I was like, okay, cool. This is great. What a great time.
Yeah, your camera is not synced up with your audio, but we hear you just fine. So you don't really need to sell out, but obviously, selling out would be nice, and the way everything's going to work for holding multiple would line up better with a
exactly. And honestly, we think that everybody who buys it will get the value out of it no matter what. Because even if you think about it, you're like, okay, like the platform is not out yet, or even if you're worried about that being functional, you're still going to get your Vox collection. You're still going to you're going to make those metaverse land purchases. So there's still development that's going to happen on that end that you should be able to benefit from. So I'm sure at 50 ADA, you will get a lot more back than what you're putting in.
Gotcha.
No matter what happens, basically.
And there's going to be potentially some whitelist spots for the Atlanick Ocean Discord, correct?
Yeah, definitely. You guys are more than welcome to have as many whitelist spots as you guys want. We can even make some OG ones available to you guys. There's some higher roles such as OG and triple OG and such, which allows you to mint multiple at a discounted rate at the 50 price instead of 1. So we can offer you some of those as well, so some people can take advantage of that.
Awesome.
So is your token going to be available on exchanges or no?
Yeah, so we would actually be talking to MinSwap, so it would hopefully get on there as soon as we can. But we have to basically work out the staking, everything like that with them and everything like that. And hopefully we can put it up there.
If not, is there a backup?
Definitely. You're talking to
Like
Drip drop is our secondary,
yeah, that's
and
cool.
actually might become our primary, to be honest with you, because we just have to see. But those are the two that we're looking at.
Nice. I always like drip drops. I mean, I got a bunch of their tokens in my wallet.
So.
Yeah, and I just remember when it first came out. It was all of a sudden like, oh, you could send this amount and get these tokens back, and it was always like pretty cool. And yeah, they also did for unsigs, they did the unsig token as well for volume 2 of Monad's drop.
I think they gave out proxy wombs too for Cardano proxies at
one
point.
They did, yeah. They've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all pretty cool shit. And to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely wouldn't feel bad about that, or even like muesli swap or like whatever it may be. I don't know. Do people still use that?
I don't know. Honestly, we prefer min swap.
Yeah.
Just because we feel like on muesli swap, there's just not much usage going on. So ideally, we would like to do drip drop and min swap, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Gotcha. Flybreath wants to know: are you guys going to leave the mint open until it sells out?
That's the idea, but obviously it depends, because if you're seeing obviously the collection is suffering, or if the floor is suffering, we have some alternatives that we'll do. But the collection will stay open, and we are hoping that by that time, it wouldn't take too long for us to sell out. Again, the collection is not too big, it's not too pricey. We are not putting $1 tag on it. So I think we should be all right. It's just the fact that I think the Discord is too small right now. So I think that would be on us to go out for the next month, really get the project out there, really try to show what we are trying to do, and make sure we let everybody know that it's actually unique, because honestly, you're not seeing a whole lot of casino ideas out there yet. So.
Now, let's say in the future, it gets closer to August and things are actually getting worse. Let's say Cardano's now at 30, maybe 38, and the market's continuing to go down. Would there be a potential another delay? Maybe.
Probably, because we just think it would be necessary for us to. You have to get a certain budget in order to be able to get certain things taken care of, as far as licensing and stuff like that, and they all go by dollar amount, so it's not because some things you can actually get away with, paying people in ADA or whatever the case may be, that they're helping you out, but some of the things that we're trying to do is going to depend on dollar, and obviously if the price is going down, it's not helping us, and obviously if the market sentiment is bad, that we know we are not going to sell out, so we are actively bringing less money, we are going to have to delay it, because we actually think it's a good project. It has a lot of potential. So even if we have to delay it, hopefully people understand it and stay with us, during that time, just to make sure we launch it at the right time. But we are hoping that we no longer have to do any delays, because again, it was already supposed to happen in mid-July and we had to delay it. So we don't want to be that project that keeps delaying. It's just not a good look. So.
I feel you. And you guys are against kind of doing a dollar amount and just wherever ADA lands, just kind of going with that?
My team wasn't, but I personally was, just because I thought we were in cryptocurrencies, and at the moment everybody's dealing with ADA. I thought it wouldn't be nice for us to come out and say, hey, here's a dollar tag for the project. But again, we also didn't need a crazy amount of money to make everything happen. You're not trying to build a metaverse or anything like that. So we just need to make sure we secure enough to build the platform, make sure it's secured, make sure it's functional, and basically deliver on our metaverse land purchases, so we can develop those. As long as we can do that, everything's good.
And then are you thinking about any, do you want to kind of branch out and do a bunch of different metaverses, or is there some that you're really honing in on? Or
No, we would be actually branching out to every metaverse that becomes functional and can benefit us, like cornucopias. Again, like we are actually trying to go after Corno. We are trying to go after other metaverses, but it just depends. Some of them have certain standards that we have to meet. Again, we are a project that hasn't even minted yet, so it's going to be kind of hard to land some of those. But obviously, as we prove ourselves and deliver, I'm sure they will open up. But at least there hasn't been one. Again, we have reached out to big projects. None of them have denied us or straight up said like, no, we are not, doing a casino idea or anything like that. All of them said, hey, let's look at a little later down the road when your platform is functional. Let's make sure all the legality of things are good. Make sure you guys have the licenses in place, and then we'll go for it. It's something that we can definitely discuss. So it seems like the door is open for us. It's just the fact that we have to obviously be able to deliver it.
And what do you think the hardest what is the greatest barrier to entry for you in like the NFT space on Cardano? What do you think it is?
You mean as a project for us right now?
As a project, yeah.
Honestly, I think it's just the exposure, because we have like really good ideas, but I think based on where the market is right now, like it's not like we haven't done any sort of marketing. We're active on Twitter. I've been getting on Twitter Spaces and stuff like that. It just seems like not a whole lot of people are engaged at the moment, and I think that's the one thing that's really hurting us. And that's the one thing as to why we are not growing as fast as we would like to, because we want to be organic about it. So, we didn't want to basically bought the servers and bring all these fake followers to Twitter and, Discord. So even though you're seeing 700-800 people in our Discord, they're all legit people. We actually have literally no bots in there. Otherwise, but I know that helps because, again, that's something that I guess we may have done wrong too, because there is some projects that, onboard a lot of fake members and stuff. And that creates this hype where, oh, there's 4,000 members in the Discord, or there's 4,000 followers on, Twitter and stuff like that. We better join, but honestly, we just didn't want to give that vibe to people. We just wanted the actual project and the vision to kind of sell itself. But unfortunately, based on how the market is, it just made it tougher.
Yeah, no, I respect that, because it's really frustrating, and it's pretty obvious, if you want to join a project and it's your first time seeing it and you see the project has 3,000 or more people in it, you're like, oh, okay, this is a decent project. Enough people believe in it. I can get behind it. Let me give it more of a shot. Let me look more into it. But if you join and it's 200 people, 400 people, whatever, you're just like, it looks like it's not that great. I just won't join. But really, it's you could have joined and looked into it. It could have been a great project and you're just super early. But that it's like a psychological thing. But at the same time, if you see, 5,000, 7,000 people with a 3,000 drop, and then they don't sell out, or they immediately go from 80 a mint price to a 40 floor, day one, it's just man, I was bamboozled. It feels bad. It feels real bad. So I respect the fact that you're not doing that.
Yeah, it's just that, for example, you're seeing Thirsty Dog Crew right now. They're minting at the moment, and we were looking at them. They even lowered their minting price, because I think they were doing 75 or 77. I think they lowered it into the 50s. And technically, if you look at the Discord, they have a lot of members, but I think at least last time that I checked, they were still not done minting. It seems like the collection was at halfway or so, or not even halfway. So, again, those are the things, although I guess in a sense, some members are there, they're either not interacting or, whatever the case may be. So I think it's just mostly it's the market sentiment, I guess, not many people paying attention, kind of leaving it alone. So even if the project has a lot to offer, it's hard to expect one person that's going to come sit in there and read everything, go on your website, research everything. Probably they just want something quick that they know it's hot and they can flip and get in that. Or if not, they're just going to sit on the sidelines. So I think that's what's really going on.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out, we have our 10-minute warning. We've been here for an hour and 50 minutes. That is amazing. And I just want to say thank you so much once again for coming on.
Of course, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, anybody in the chat that has any questions, you got about 10 minutes to ask any of your questions. And if there's anything that you wanted to bring up and share that maybe we didn't ask you about, feel free, let us know.
I think for the most part that we've covered everything. Unless you guys have any more questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer it. But if not, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily ending it quite yet, but I know I'm trying to respect everybody's time, and I know Brandon has work early in the morning.
I have work that's the terrible thing, right? So it's like I have this, and this lasts till about 11 o'clock my time, and then I have to wake up at like 4:30 to get ready for work, and it's like, man, 5 hours of sleep at max right now, and I'm like, yeah.
That's rough.
There's sometimes after the show where we'll sit here and BS for like 2 or 3 hours, and just talk about stuff. So it's like, man, I'm not getting any sleep. So,
Sometimes this is how it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's cool. It's cool. I wouldn't trade it for anything else, man. It's real fun. So I have a quick question. So maybe something that wasn't spoken about. So in these metaverses, in these metaverse, whatever metaverse, all right, and people are doing, like, let's say betting, and it's a person-to-person bet. Obviously, there's some sort of escrow service involved. Will that be done strictly through whatever your guys' like trading tent style is, or
Exactly.
would it be handled by mods who are live in the metaverse as well?
So we will deploy mods that will be there too in the metaverse. But basically, if you're using the platform, peer-to-peer platform, you're just basically like just using that site or whatever the case may be. But if you are interacting in metaverse and you're trying to do certain things, like there's a chance we even put up NFTs in the metaverse for display that you can like basically do your bidding on and things of that nature. Obviously, we would have mods that are trusted, and we'll work with the community to make sure everything is like functional and goes well.
Okay.
Another thing that I can cover is like basically like another idea for us is to build these casinos and rooms that we can actually host poker tournaments and different things for other projects, because right now you're seeing like it's becoming really popular in basically like all the discords for them to hold poker tourneys, but it could also be a lot of work for them because they have to like go through the hassle of like collecting and like holding these tourneys and stuff like that. So basically, if we build these rooms, we can just host those events in the metaverse for them. So let's say, for example, Lazy Llamas comes to us and says, hey, we really want to hold a poker event for these 2 weeks, 2 to 4 events. Basically, like in a sense, we make a contract with them or whatever the case may be for a compensation. We just hold the event for them and we just take a cut of whatever the prices are, or like, in terms of our tokens as a pay or whatever the case.
So is there anything that can improve people's luck at all? Like a 2x multiplier or something?
Yes, so we have a plan for that. So if you're actually playing on the slot machines, usually your chance of winning is really low. I mean, realistically, IRL, we were talking about like 1 to 2%, even less than that. So our goal is that with the DAO system, because the whole point is to give this project to the people. It's meant to be decentralized and owned by the people in a sense. So what we are really trying to do is actually like hand it over to the DAO system that we'll have, and they're going to vote on it. So obviously you have the house, which is us, and we have to make sure at the end of the day we win and we bring in some money for us to be functional. But at the end of the day, you still have the community that has to play and still be willing to put in more money, because if they're always losing, it's not very nice. So if there's that system, they can basically like adjust these rates. So like it could go up to 10% winning, it could go up to 15% winning, for example, and stuff like that. And when you see it's hurting the business or we are not really profitable anymore, we put it into the voting again, and basically like that's or the people will lower it or increase it depending on the situation. So basically like you can increase or decrease these percentages.
What about like a system where, and I know nothing about how any of this is going to work, I'm just speculating, a system where like when you lose, it increases your chance of winning. And then if you lose again, it slightly increases it again until you win.
That is a possibility we are looking at, but you have to play like multiple times. Like you have to play like 4 or 5 times, and after you've done it 4 or 5 times and you've been losing, all of a sudden there is a certain percentage that gets added to it. You get as a bump that increases your chance of winning.
Which
Gotcha.
it should just naturally happen like that. You know, you're basically subtracting from whatever the win ratio is essentially, and then
It's just that it's very low. So like we are working on something where you actually, if you hit like 3 or 5 or a certain number of, for example, like spins or whatever that you have done and you haven't won, it actually like doubles that percentage, or like it adds an additional, percentage to it on top of like what's the normal basically. And that will come through you holding certain chippies actually. So there's going to be certain chippies that will help with that.
Gotcha. Will there be anything with the rarities of the chippies? Like, will top 1K get a certain benefit, or anyone
Yep.
holding a certain item?
So some of the passive income that I was telling you is going to go to obviously like 101s. And then other than that, it's going to be based on rolls. And the other thing is like how many you hold. So those are different ways that you will get passive income.
So the specific traits and rarities for like top 1000 isn't really a thing. It's just if you own, 3 to 5 or whatever the number is, and if you own a 1-to-1, then those are where the benefits will come from.
Yeah, so basically like any of them that have the rolls and any of them that are part of it. So this collection, any of them that are going to be part of the top 500, because it's going to be out of the 5,000, they will have those benefits and passive income. Other than that, if they're not part of the top 500, you just want to basically like stack them, have multiple, and obviously we would release the quantity of how many you need, and then you just go based off of that if you want to build it that way.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We are at the 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I really do appreciate you for stopping by, both Cleanup. I know you never sleep, and JYNX. Thank you so much for coming out, man.
Of course,
and I also,
thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, man. Anybody who wants to check him out, I have his socials in the description below, so go check that out. And yeah, remember to get outside, see your family, see your friends. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Have a good one.